is the one thing that you are learning this year, or not this year, but like your most recent lesson, life lesson?
I think it was actually to just let things be, to not have expectations,
Mm-hmm.
like to just go with the flow. I know that's not everyone's ideal way of going about it. Goodness, of like, but mm,
That's sort
um,
of line.
it is a fly.
Doesn't look like that.
It's a fly. It's an old one. It's gonna die later. Um, yeah, to just go with the flow.
Mm.
I base a lot of my decisions of how I feel. So I don't always depend on my brain because yes, like you overthink. Da, 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 da. But if I'm in a situation and I feel like doing something, I will do it. If I feel like saying goodbye and leaving right now, I do that.
Yeah.
So I base everything off a feeling because my feelings have never lied to me.
Yeah.
My
Your
gut has
intuition.
never, my intuition, my gut, my feelings, they've never lied to me.
Mm.
I feel everything before anything else.
Mm.
I mean, I know when I meet someone whether I will be friends with them, whether I can be in their company, whether they're genuine or whether they're not.
Yeah.
So I trust that for
Yeah.
myself. And I think that's also why I spend so much time alone. Because it has to be like, for me to actually want to leave my
Leave
house
your
and
house,
give
yeah.
my energy. You know, because people are social vampires. When you have great energy, you will leave a place feeling drained, depleted. Because people will
I hate
take
feeling
and
like
take
that.
and
I will
take.
never go back to that place again if I ever feel like that.
You're
I
just
will never
done.
go there again. But I'm willing to give it a chance.
Yeah.
And if I give it a
Yeah.
chance and I don't feel good about it, I'm never going again. Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm not scared to leave. I will go.
We leave the party early.
I will go.
If I don't like anyone at the party, I'm leaving.
Most times it's not even about the people. It's more like I just want to get into bed. You know, I'm like, oh, I gotta go get into bed. Because for me, it's more like this cocoon of safety.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
unhealthy, Chelsea.
It's not unhealthy. It's a safe environment. It's a
Accessible.
cocoon. It's like, you know, I have this warm bubble of love. I'm not out. It's also like being out at night as a female. You're
Yeah.
scared. I don't trust the world. I have anxiety. I've been through some shit where I've been attacked twice, you know. So
Yeah.
those things play in my mind, and the sooner I can get home and into bed and into my bubble and into the safe
Into your
space,
safe
the
space,
better
the
for me.
better,
Because
yeah.
there's no point in me being out and I'm not enjoying myself because I'm stressed or
safe,
worried or
yeah.
scared. Yeah, I don't know.
No, 100%.
And it's not. Sometimes it's just so sad to be a female, like in today's life. It's like all these things that you have to think about that men don't have to think about. You know,
Like our brains are overworked.
completely.
That's also
And yet we
why.
always find time for the people in our life, and we cook and we clean and we, you know, that's what females are like.
There's that word again.
Simon.
His name's Simon. We calling him Simon. Simon
Just
is
seems like a
being
Simon.
an asshole today. I don't know. I think he's in a bad mood.
Did you give him munchups? Maybe that's why you're eating and you didn't give the bird.
My pet is upset. My pet Simon is very upset. Can you hear him? Okay, Simon. Damn.
It feels like you live in waterfront.
I
The
know.
seagulls.
Why are there seagulls here?
I don't know if that's a seagull, but that's that long beak things that you only find here in this area.
It's
Okay, not
weird.
only, but it's a lot here.
Okay, my biggest lesson that I'm learning. Oof. First thing that comes to my mind. The biggest lesson that I'm learning in my life right now is to put myself first and my goals. Because I know in the back of my head, in the front of my head, the middle, the sides, all around in my head, I know that I am destined for greatness. Like I know that in the next few years, maybe not even in a few years, but I just know and I can feel that something big is coming.
Yes, girl.
And
Speak that of your life. Yes,
like you know when you can just feel it in your core. Like I can't sleep at night because it's like something big is coming and like something great is coming, and I just need to keep moving, right? And the only way that I can do that is if I put everything that I need to do, obviously on the path of my goals. If I put all of that things first before, I won't say like everyone else, but yes, everyone else. Like there's times where I needed to sacrifice spending time with my family because I had work to do. There's times where, I had to call my friends over for work instead of just hanging out, having a glass of wine, and like today, you know. I would love to not have to do all of this and just go back to normal, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like the way we do it is like we're still having a conversation because
Yeah,
we don't prep any of this. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying
it's
to get to. Is like
natural.
this is the kind of conversations we have
We don't have a script.
anyway. We don't have a script. We don't know what we're talking about. We just sit
We
down
just
here
and we talk.
and we talk like we usually do.
Yeah. But that's the thing, and that's how I know it's right and I'm on the right path is because like there's no pushback, man.
Mm.
It's just happening. Like everything is unfolding and everything is
And friends are showing up for
aligning.
you.
My oh,
No, don't cry. Oh, baby,
I always,
don't cry.
I always cry, but like I'm gonna just keep reminding people that I'm just this emotional
The
person.
same.
For a very long time, I had friends who didn't show up for me, and I would always be the person to show up for them.
But it's like you said,
And
you
now,
let go of all of
and
those.
that's how I know that me and I had to put myself first in those situations. Like losing people is not easy,
Mm.
especially when you hold them dearly in your heart. It's never easy. But I gained so much out of it afterwards. I gained the I don't know, like the best friends I could ever have. Like this morning, the smallest thing, like our water was off, and naturally, right, I would just not ask anyone for help because I didn't feel comfortable enough to do that. And in that moment, I was just speaking to Ruby, like, and I was just like, bro, like, they just switch our water off. Can I please come shower by you? Like, she laughed because it's kind of funny, and she was like, come, bruh, like, I'm gonna put the geyser on now. And I was like, I know it's small, but like, I'm just realizing, like, I never felt this comfortable in my life before to ask my friends for help because,
Yeah,
you know,
you can depend on your
I never
friends.
thought I could depend on them in that way. And now I have this, like, group of females, which is very big for me because, like, you know how the culture around female friendships are, especially in Cape Town. I'm just going to speak for Cape Town because, that's all I know. Never been to Josie, but I'm going this year. Yeah, so like it's like as soon as I let go of the things that were like not working for me and put like my values, my needs, like what I wanted in a friendship, what I wanted in my life first, like when you visualize your higher self, like that quote, visualize your higher self and show up as a, like, as soon as I did that, I put me first, started working on myself, like I just attracted the best of the best, and I keep attracting the best of the best. And this is how we need to speak to ourselves and about ourselves in good, positive words. Like whenever I have a negative thought, I don't say it out loud, and I immediately block it. About me, about my relationships with people, about my goals, about anything, I block it and I don't speak about it. And I will instead replace those thoughts and those conversations with myself with good ones.
Yeah, because your mind is such a positive, such um, a hectic thing. Like in the sense where you can train yourself, your brain, your mind into believing that you are happy. Like if you act happy,
Yeah.
if you seem happy, if you say happy things, like all of these things are like manifestations. Like mantras, like every day. So the negative things that you even say about yourself,
Yeah.
like those are spells. If I can
Literally.
put it
You
to you
are
that way, you are your own worst enemy.
Honestly.
As a person, you are your own worst enemy. That's what I believe. And I always have this thing like, you know what? Be happy by yourself.
Yeah.
Be 100% by yourself. Like even in like relationships, if somebody leaves, so that you're not completely broken, you can still
Exactly.
stand up. You can still go about. Yes, you're sad, and you're allowed to feel sad.
It's okay, yeah.
you go through all of
We are
those
human
feelings.
beings.
Yes, but you're not like completely broken, and these people are like, oh, my whole world, my other half. Like, I don't believe in the other half thing.
I
You
know.
are whole all by yourself. Someone is only ever supposed to compliment you, you know,
Or add.
or add value to your life. Compliment your life and add value to your life.
Yeah.
Because we were all born alone. You are the only one that sits with the thoughts in your mind. At the end of the day, you are the only person that can make you happy.
Because
You know how.
yourself the
Exactly.
best. I
You know
always say
how.
that. Like, I used to depend on other people to make me
And that's a
happy, to
selfish
fulfill
thing.
me, and I realized that it's a very selfish thing. Like, because, and then, okay, yes, it's a selfish thing, but also number two is, how can you ask that of someone else if you cannot even give it to yourself?
Now that's the thing.
That is why it's so selfish.
Because you're putting a lot on the next person you're expecting, and people don't always show up in the capacity that
Exactly.
you
People
need or
love
want. So
differently.
show up for yourself.
People love differently. People show it differently. But now you want this person to show you that love in your specific way.
And then you get upset about it, and it's a fight. Then it's like this whole thing.
But at the end, but then you turn around, you're not even showing that love to yourself. So you want someone to buy you roses and flowers and to spoil you and all of this stuff. This is just one example. You want all of these things, but you are not buying yourself roses. You are not spoiling yourself. Why is that? Because you're broke. Think of work.
Exactly.
Go make money.
Yeah.
So that you can afford to buy yourself roses.
Bet on yourself.
Because if say for example, right, there is a man, right, that you want or you like, you guys are speaking, and you now obviously have this expectation of the partner that you want in your life. You want a partner to do X, Y, and Z. I'm just going to make a few examples. Like, you want a partner to support you, you want a partner to buy you gifts, you want a partner to cook for you, right? You want a man to cook, right? But on the other end of that spectrum, right, you don't support yourself and your needs. And by support, I mean you don't show yourself love.
Self-care.
Are you on that whole self-care buzz or not? And if you're not, you can't ask someone else to support you. You don't even support yourself and your daily needs, please.
Yeah, and it's not like just money. Do you know what I mean? It's that self-fulfillment. It's that, that
Exactly. Do you sit alone with yourself?
That's the biggest thing. Like, those thoughts in your mind, other people don't know what's going on in your head.
Jesus.
You sit with those thoughts at the end of the day. The only person you can depend on is yourself. Yes, you can depend on others for different things, but I mean,
Please.
what happens at the end of the day when it's only you?
Yeah.
Now you go and you always like being around other people because you don't like being
look for
alone.
that fulfillment.
Yes.
Find it within yourself. Like, sit
It's
alone.
never going to be fulfilled because people can leave like that.
Yeah.
So then what do you have? What have you built? What is the foundation here?
Exactly. Sit alone. Get to know yourself. Write down a list of values. No, start there.
Yeah.
If you open one of my diaries right now, right? I have specific diaries for different things. So I have one for my creative ideas, I have one for personal self-development, and one for just journaling and writing down my thoughts and, like, my days, that venting diary, right? So in myself,
my favorite is my dream journal.
You have a dream journal?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because when I actually stopped smoking, when you smoke, you actually don't really dream. But when you stop smoking, like weed, obviously, when you stop smoking, it opens up. Oh, was I not supposed to say that? Oh, it actually opens up your mind. So when I took the tolerance break for like a year and a half, it's been a year now. I've been on a year tolerance break, kind of. So it's like the wildest dreams. Not even wild. It's just like I remember my dreams.
Yeah.
Which I love because now I can go back to whenever.
I was saying.
But talk so because it took me a while to find it.
I was saying, like, if you open my journal right now, I think maybe on the third page, the first, second or third page, you will see my list of values. Start there.
It's a good thing.
Write down a list of 10 values, right, that you want to live by in life. So that when anyone comes into your life, right, you already know that these are my values. And with those values comes a set of boundaries as well, right? And in that way, you won't easily let people in your life or in your lives that doesn't align with you and your values. And that's how you will start to attract better people into your life.
What is personal space and alone time to you?
That is alone time, like just being by myself, isolating.
No, when you are with someone, do you want to be in their space all the time?
No, like I, well, I'm gonna explain this in my experiences because I'm learning about this whole personal space now. And I recently came out up not
Recently came up.
I recently developed this new kind of expectation in a way when it comes to that all relationships and space and personal space in relationships. So when I was living at home at my parents' place, I had my own room. I could easily just lock myself in my room and isolate when I'm going through something, and then um, go through my thing and heal and do my own thing. And then last year I moved in with my ex-partner, and I hated it because we were in a one bedroom apartment. Neither of us had our own personal space, and you just had to be in this person's space all the time. So if I was going through something at work and I just wanted to come home and
Be alone.
just be alone, I couldn't do that. If I was just tired and exhausted and I just didn't want anyone around me at all, like I just wanted to like decompress, not have someone else's energy, because like I realized lately that energies, I'm very sensitive to people's energies.
Same.
So, and the reason why how I learned that is because I'm a totally different person when I'm alone. I'm way more calm when I'm alone than when I'm around people and a lot of different energies. Even if I'm with one person, I can pick up on your energy pretty easily. And I always used to think to myself, because I didn't understand that very well until recently. So then I always used to think that I was maybe just a moody person, or I was maybe just a cat person. But then I realized, no, I'm not, because like, why when I'm alone am I like, or when I'm around you, or when I'm around other friends or other people, my energy is fine. Like, I'm okay. But when I'm around certain people, I just don't feel good about myself. That was because I was taking on their energies.
Same. We have such a lot of the same.
And
I'm very susceptible.
yeah.
That's why I like being alone.
And then I start projecting that same energy onto that person as well.
The give and take, because it was like you're different people, you're a different person around different people.
Yeah, and that's also why different people have different experiences with me as well. Because I'm a kind, gentle person to you. But as soon as I'm around someone whose energy is not like that, I'm just gonna like
You give
mirror their energy.
Yes, exactly.
And it was crazy, like coming to that realization. Because as soon as that, because obviously like I pinpointed who it was, and who it was doing that. And as soon as that person was out of my life, I was fine.
Yeah.
I was a happy person.
One thing that really blew my mind was because you know who you are as a person. You see yourself as this and this and this and that. But every person that you have ever have ever met has a different version of you in their mind. How, like for me, like when I realized that, or whatever, it was just like such a mind blowing. I'm like, everyone, because of their perception of life and because of how they experience things, how they were brought up, I mean, imagine seeing yourself through, take 5 to 10 people that know you, and you see what each person sees in their head, and then you sit it and you're like,
is that me? Why am I so many different people?
Why do you see me like that and you see me completely different?
Yeah.
Like all of these things, it's just like, it's the wildest thing. There's a different version of you in the mind of everyone.
Yeah.
That is
And a lot of the times, like, we try to control that narrative, their narrative of us. You can't do that.
You can't, because everyone is different. People don't experience things the same.
Exactly. Someone who grew up in a household that, was very positive and light and, healthy, and they had the family dynamic was happy, and they worked
Open.
well, they worked through things, they were open,
It's a
versus
safe space, yeah.
it was a safe space, versus someone who was a total opposite, was dark, was partying, alcoholism, abuse, all of that stuff constantly. If I put myself in front of those two people, right, who I am today, the one person is going to view me according to how they grew up
And how they see the world.
So the person that grew up in the toxic household already has a very negative outlook on life. So immediately, if someone that is not as negative as them, is going to come into their space, they're going to like push back a bit, because what the fuck, like, you think you're better than everyone,
What's weird is you can look at this from two different, just picture the person that you are, maybe the person that I am, and that's a negative person. And maybe because there are so many other negative people in their life, I come into their life and I'm like a positive person, so they see me as this, positive thing. And then the person that comes from a happy family only knows happy people. But then I am who I am, and they're like, oh, this person's actually, like negative. So it's weird. It's weird of the different. They can either see you as positive, and they can either see you as negative.
It's always different. It's never the one thing that you think it's gonna be, or it's crazy.
That's why I always live my life putting myself in other people's shoes. It's weird. Even if someone has wronged me or whatever, I will always sit and think,
to see their
why? Yes, their perspective. That's important. Like, why did they do what they did? Or, for example, if someone is upset with me or, tells me how they feel, or I've wronged them, but I didn't intentionally mean to hurt you or do wrong to you, you still have to apologize for that person's feelings. You have to validate people's feelings. Everyone is entitled to their feelings. You cannot make people feel like they did not feel that way. You don't know how they grew up. You don't know what their perception is. You don't know how they view things. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Fly
on your shoulder.
Oh.
You don't know how they. I'm so sorry. You don't know how they view things. So you have to acknowledge their feelings. You can't be like, but I didn't mean that.
That's not what I mean.
And now you're making this whole thing back and forth. Just acknowledge how they feel, and you can say, I'm like, I did not mean to hurt you. I didn't know that I did that. Thank you for making me aware, and I apologize for making you feel that way. You don't apologize. You don't always have to say, like, I apologize for what I did, because in your mind, you didn't mean to do that. You didn't know that you were doing that person on, but you have to apologize for how you made that person feel.
Exactly. There's one thing that I hate the most, and I have learned my lesson in trying to keep these types of people in my life, is if I am coming to you with, let's say, a problem, right? I'm like,
it took a lot out of you already.
Yes, like it took a lot of courage to come to you and tell you this is what I'm feeling and how you made me feel, kind of like it's still like weighing heavy on my heart. So if I'm coming to you with that, right, and your response is first to either get defensive, or your response is no response at all, I'm immediately gonna shut down. And sometimes I get angry, even like sometimes it makes me angry because now I'm not feeling heard. Now you making me feel like you don't care about my feelings, right? The one thing that you should always do if someone is coming to you and telling you that the way you made them feel is not sitting well in their heart, the one thing you should always do is just validate their feelings. That's all. I'm not coming to you telling you how I feel because I want you to fix it. You can't fix the way I feel. Only I can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But acknowledge it, validate me, say you understand how I could be feeling that way and that you were really sorry about that.
There are other people in this world. Do you know what I mean? There are other people. There are other people's feelings. And if you say you care about someone or you want people in your life, you need to step up in that way. You need to realize that other people also have feelings. It's not just about you.
Yeah,
and you don't have to be so defensive. People don't need you to be so defensive. I mean, all of us are guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. And
I'm not
immediately you will get defensive because,
you didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming. First of all, you caught me off guard. I didn't mean to do that. So now I feel like I have to defend myself.
Yeah.
But maybe just listen, acknowledge, validate.
Yeah,
and that person will just feel so much better at the end of the day. Also, you could minimize a situation that could have gone over
You
here.
minimize
with-
conflict like that
Exactly,
easily by just
exactly.
validating and like owning up to.
It's not hard. It's
Yeah.
really not hard. We just live in this world where our minds are like we're so forced to defend ourselves.
I don't agree that it's not odd. I think it is odd for people who are not self-aware.
No, that's but what I'm saying is getting there.
Mm.
Getting there is probably the hardest
The
thing. 'cause
hardest. It's the hardest.
Not everyone, even in their whole life, will never be self-aware.
Fully.
And it's not like it can come from anybody else. You have to make that choice. You have to take that step. You have to want.
Yeah.
Just want more.
And it comes with a lot of work also.
Yeah.
Like.
But that also
It
opens
starts
you
with
up.
healing, man. Like.
There we go, healing, and it just opens you up to like this thought process or this. And maybe that's why we are so sensitive to other people's feelings and energies and vibes, because we are so self-aware.
Yeah.
And we know that at the center of everything, we are not at the center of everything. There's so much more going on. But to you, that's...
The world does not revolve around you. My
Not
love, do you know? Do you know how small you are? Do you know how big this universe is? Have you ever watched those videos of the galaxies and just felt so small? That's because you are, darling. So please, let's stop making everything about us.
It's so powerful that, like, because you can also take that image and be like, all of that is also living inside of me. Weirdly enough.
Because it is. Yeah, and on that note of healing as well, like, I just wanna encourage everyone to go to therapy. or read some self-development books.
Yeah. And read some mindfulness books. Do you know how amazing the mindfulness books are? I have mindfulness and I'm gonna bring it the next time we chat. But also it's not only about therapy, it's about having a support system around you. People that you can do. I mean, for me, this is my therapy when you and I get together and we have
talk about
these kinds of conversations. Because the other friends maybe that I have in my life, I don't do this with. It's which is sad, but I mean, you don't need to have that with everyone or get it from everyone.
This is a very
our
sacred
relationship. Yes, our relationship, it's full for me.
And it's very rare to have relationships like this, actually. I'm not gonna lie. It is very rare.
Why are we so emotional? Like,
I don't know.
I thought we PMS last week. Like, I thought we're done.
Girl, I've been crying so much lately. I've been crying a lot.
Especially with that new moon in the week now, as well, the full moon.
If you all didn't do your rituals and manifestations on the full moon.
Ooh, I was just annoyed because I couldn't find my sage. I'm like, I have two of them. Where are they? But anyway, I'll find them.
I thought you're such an organized person.
But bro, I am, but there's just sometimes things just get misplaced. And then I start realizing, because they say if you lose things, then the energy is off. So now I'm like, okay, no, I have to get back into...
If you can't find something.
Do you know where my...
you'll be letting things fall all the time.
Yes, exactly. But I'm clumsy in general, so now I don't know. But that's because I'm an anxious person. I'm a very anxious person. So my first relationship with crystals stemmed from my mother, because she would... the rose quartz. She would literally put it in her bra and stuff, and she'd go about her day.
Your mother?
Yes. Like, that's how she used to go about her day. She'd put the rose quartz. She obviously got me my first crystals, and then my protection stones, which is the amethyst, the purple one. So that, like, I still remember she would come home. Yeah, amethyst.
I cleansed them the other day, so you can see this.
Yeah, did you put them in the moonlight?
Yeah,
okay.
In salt, in Himalayan salt. Is it wrong?
No, I put mine in rice, in brown rice.
I think this is the crystals you gave me.
Is it? Aww.
Why do you put yours in rice? Because it absorbs.
Yeah, that's how I've always cleansed my crystals. Is in a glass jar in rice, in the sunlight or the moonlight, the full moon.
Oh, okay.
So it's always on my windowsill, because that's where the
I
moon
read
is.
online that you can do it with salt or
salt. No, then you probably can, but I've always just cleansed mine with rice.
This is the one that Chelsea gave me. She actually got me that one also. There's another one. I don't know which one that is. In the candle.
Oh, in the candle. Oh yes, the rose quartz.
Is that the rose quartz?
Yeah, so that's love and that's protection. Love and protection. So I used to have them in my car as well.
What's that song with which I am protected? You don't know that song? I'm gonna send you. It's the
Okay.
Protection Mantra by Jade.
Oh, that's nice. No, that's my bitch, Janayako. Birth twins. Yeah, so I would remember my mother coming home from work and like, when your mother comes home, now you're excited because, I don't know, for some reason you're excited because your mommy's home and now she's getting undressed and she's probably annoyed. Because when you come home, like, I can't imagine that feeling, and I don't have kids. So when I come, like, not that I come home anymore, I work from home, but I mean, coming home, it would always be like, oh, I just want to be left alone. Like, and my mother obviously would come home and have these kids. And I remember her getting undressed, and she would like take her around, and the stones would just fall out. Yeah, she would like, that's where my relationship with light crystals come from, because my mother would have this. And I remember when we were younger, we used to have meditation sessions as a family together. So it'd be 5 a.m. in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. My parents would always be meditating.
That's
so
cool.
yeah, so that's I think that's where. And I remember my mother went through this phase where we didn't eat a lot of meat, but I never ate a lot of meat anyway. So it'd be this healthy things, and she would only wear kaftans, and we would go to this market. People have and I remember so yeah, so my mother's always been very spiritual. I get that from her. So yeah, it's something that I love.
I think my spirituality and my I would say spirituality and my wisdom. I think in general it's where it stems from, but me personally, I know that it stems from like all of my pain and my trauma in life. So that's where it came from.
We spoke about this.
Yeah, because when you go through trauma and a lot of like painful experiences, you experience usually turns into wisdom, because once you experience something, you are now wiser. I don't know. I mean, I still have this thing where I downplay my traumatic experience. Like
same.
I can't help but
I actually packed it away for years.
Yeah.
Like my teenager, I packed it the fuck away.
My therapist told me one day when I told her, like, because I was telling her about this experience that I had where someone made me feel unsafe and blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go into detail. Maybe one day I'll speak about it openly, but I was telling her and I was saying, like, I didn't feel like it was as bad as like other people that probably went through the same thing, so I didn't feel like it was that serious. And she like stopped me and she told me to my face, she was like, don't ever downplay your experiences because you feel like what you went through wasn't as bad as someone else or as big as someone else's experiences. It is valid. And if someone made you feel unsafe, if someone hurt you, if someone put you through something that was painful or traumatic, however you dealt with that and the feelings and the wounds that came from that, it is valid. And you shouldn't suppress it or cover it or coat it with sugar and all things nice because you think it wasn't as bad as maybe the next person who went through it and is now speaking about it. Your experiences are valid, your feelings are valid, and you need to always remember that. So I always used to like tell myself, oh, it wasn't that bad, it's okay, no. Someone made you feel unsafe.
Period.
Finish and clap.